Hi friends, today we're gonna do a yoga practice for our hips. We're gonna work on hip opening, elongate and stretch muscles that are hip flexors and hip extensors, and work on a general mobility of hip joints. As we all know, unfortunately in our daily life, hip joints along with other joints like shoulders do not get the full range of motion they actually need to stay healthy. So especially if you work at a desk or a computer or spend a lot of time driving a car, I encourage you to join in the practice. Grab your mat. You may need a block. You would definitely need a strap or a belt, long belt, or you can interconnect two belts to make it longer, and a bolster, or if you don't have a bolster, I often use a rolled blanket. So let's start. We will start laying on our backs, bringing awareness to our breathing, relaxing all muscles. We'll inhale through the nose, send the breath into the belly, and exhale through the nose. Draw your arms at shoulder level, draw your knees to the chest, and as you exhale, keep both shoulders on the floor and lower your knees to the side of your choice. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale to the opposite side. Remember to keep both shoulders on the ground. You can gaze in the opposite direction of your knees. Inhale, bring your legs back to center. Point your feet, and as you exhale, open your knees to the side. Inhale, close your knees, flex your feet. Exhale, open. Inhale, close, point. Exhale, open. And switch, flexing and pointing your feet, opening your knees for a couple of more breaths. Now straighten your knees, feet flexed, and engage your abs, and exhale your left leg to the ground. Inhale deeply, exhale, start lowering your right leg to the right, hovering over the floor, making a large circle. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale to the right, making a large circle. Inhale up, exhale, draw a circle with your right foot. One more, and bring it back to center, and switch the direction. Now internally rotating, that means your foot goes first towards the midline. The same principle, we lift the leg on the inhalation and we lower the leg on the exhalation, making a large circle. Remember to keep the opposite hip on the ground and your shoulders. One more rotation, come back to center, lift your left leg, lower your right foot to the ground, and we'll do the same on the left side. Inhale up to center, exhale, lower the leg to the left, making a large circle. Inhale up, exhale, lower. Inhale, come back to center, exhale, lower to the left. One more, and exhale, bring leg back to center. Switch direction, now lowering the leg first to the right, keeping the right hip on the ground and shoulders on the ground. One more rotation. Exhale, lower to the right, bring it through the left. Inhale, bring the right leg to the ceiling. Draw your knees and open your legs, grabbing your feet with your hands in this happy baby pose. It's a wonderful lower back relief and also a gentle hip opener. You can rock from side to side. Just remember to keep shoulders on the floor. Release your feet and come to the top of your mat in a standing position. Feet parallel, hip distance apart. Lift your toes and plant them. Tuck your tailbone, engage your abs. Open your chest. Inhale, arms overhead. Slight back bend. As you exhale, bend your knees, send your sitting bones to the back, plant your hands next to your feet, and surrender in this forward fold. Inhale, engage your quads and straighten your knees. Exhale, step back with your left foot. Keep your hands planted and just verify that your hips are square, that your back heel is pressing into the wall. Lift your trunk, come to the upright position. You can keep your hands on your hips or extend overhead. The main focus of this session is the hips, so we want to send our energy and attention to the hip area. Feel how the hip flexor on the left is elongating in this high lunge. Make sure your front knee is not trekking past your ankle and your hips remain square with the chest open. Exhale, plant your hands, rotate your back toes to the side of your mat, and inhale, arms at shoulder height, palms up. Exhale, palms down, front knee is bent, not trekking over the ankle. Inhale, straighten the front knee. Exhale, sink. Inhale, up. Exhale, sink. You can add also rotation of your palms of your wrists. When we exhale, sink in, palms down. When we inhale, straighten the knee, palms up. It's also a gentle exercise for your wrists. One more exhale, sink. Stay in this warrior two. Verify the position of your shoulders and hips in one plane, facing to the side. Plant your hands in front of you. Rotate your front toes and start this dynamic half squat pose. So we're moving from left to right, from right to left, slowly, keeping balance with the help of our hands on the ground. See if you can sink deeper on each move. Next, lift your back heel, rotate your back toes, facing the opposite direction, high lunge on the other side. Verify your square hips. Press the back heel into imaginary wall. Inhale, lift your trunk to the upright position. You can keep your hands on your hips or inhale them overhead. The important part is on the other side is elongating your hip flexors. Keep your chest open and gaze at the horizon. Your front knee is not trekking past your ankle. Engage your pelvic floor muscles to bring stability to the pose. Exhale, plant your hands, rotate your back toes facing to the side, and inhale, your palms facing up, arms at the shoulder level, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front knee, exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten, exhale, sink. You can add rotation of your wrist as we did on the other side. Inhale, up, exhale, palms down, bend the knee. Inhale, up, and exhale, palms down, bend the front knee. The trunk is facing to the side while your gaze is forward at the horizon. Stay here for a couple of breaths. In the warrior two, exhale, plant your hands, rotate your front toes to the side, and let's do the dynamic half squats again. See if you can sink deeper every time you switch sides. There's a different sensation whether your hips are higher than your shoulders or if they're on the same level. So play with it and see what feels better and nicer in this particular moment for you. Come back to the right, rotate your back toes. We're coming to the high plank now. Verify the alignment, wrist, shoulders and elbows in one line. Exhale slowly into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Lift your thighs, engage your inner thigh. Maybe open your throat. And exhale, tuck your toes, send the tailbone to the sky, down dog. Engage your quads to straighten your knees and try to reach your toes towards your ankles to plant your heels. Your triceps should be engaged to keep your elbows straight. Now bend your knees and lift your heels and do like a figure 8 with your bum. It just feels nice in the joints and in the spine. Plant your heels. Lift your right leg to the back, bend your knee and open your hip. Foot is flexed, that keeps the leg engaged. Make sure your trunk is still facing down, not rotating along with the hip. Inhale, step forward with your right leg. Bring your weight onto that front leg And exhale, bend forward and lift your left leg to the sky. Stand and split. Exhale, plant your left leg on the ball of the foot. And heel toe your front foot about half a foot to a foot to the right. Come to your forearms. Maybe plant your knee. It's a lizard pose. To increase the pose, you can keep the knee off the ground. To increase the pose further, you can wrap your right arm around your right ankle and interlace your fingers. You can also try to lift your toes in this pose. And it's a great position because we're working on both legs at the same time. We're opening the hip on the right and we're working on the hip flexors on the left. Now turn your trunk and your front foot to the right, bring your back foot into a side plank position and extend your right arm overhead. Now we're going to bring some movement to this. We'll exhale and lower the hips. Inhale, bring them back to center. Exhale, lower, inhale, up. Exhale, lower, inhale, up. Exhale, lower, inhale, up. Plant your top hand and heel toe the front foot to the left, keeping your ankle as parallel to the top of your mat as possible. Sink your hips, pigeon pose expression. Walk your hands forward and lower your trunk to the ground. Your forehead can be placed on your forearms. Make sure your hips are square. That means you are not tilting to the right. And your left hip flexor should feel a nice, a beautiful elongation. While we're working on your right hip opening. Inhale, bring your body in the upright position and swing your back leg across the front leg. And verify that both sitting bones are on the ground. Adjust the pose as you need. Keep your spine long and straight. Engage your abdominal muscles. Interlace your fingers around the top knee and try to draw it closer to your chest without collapsing your shoulders or rounding your back. Plant your hands, jump into the plank, exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, tuck your toes, down dog. Remember to melt the upper body to the back, surrender into the back. Lift your heels, bend your knees, engage your quads, straighten your knees, and plant your heels. Inhale, lift your left leg, bend the knee, and open the hip. Keep the trunk facing down. Inhale, step forward with the left foot, shift the weight on the left leg, forward fold and bring the right leg to the sky, stand and split on the left. Exhale, plant your back leg on the ball of the foot and come to the lizard on the left. Moving the front foot slightly to the side, slightly to the left. Planting your forearms, maybe planting your back knee. As I said, to increase the pose, you can wrap your left arm around your left ankle and interlace your fingers. With each exhalation, see if you can sink deeper. Inhale, turn your trunk to the left. Back foot is in a side plank position, and we'll do the dynamic movement on the side as well. Inhale, hips lift, exhale, hips lower to the ground. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, and bring your top hand to the ground. Heel toe the left foot to the side, to the right, and pigeon pose on the left. Hips square and your front foot is flexed. That protects your knee. Exhale, lower your trunk over the front leg and place your forehead on your forearms. If this is challenging for your knees, you can always do it off the blanket. That means that your front leg, the leg that is being open in the hip area, is laying on the blanket. Inhale, come back to center. Swing your back leg over the front. Interlace your fingers over the top knee. Keep your spine long, abdominal muscles engaged, and try to draw the top knee closer to your chest. Plant your knees. Exhale, jump into the plank and lower into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog, hips off the ground. Maybe open your throat, look into the sky, and exhale, tailbone goes up. Tuck your toes, down dog. You can walk your dog, maybe do another figure 8 with your bum when we lift our heels and bend our knees, whatever feels appropriate and comfortable right now. Inhale, plant your knees and come to a seated position with legs wide open for the wide-legged forward fold. This is when we're going to use our blanket or bolster. Position it right in front of you. It may or may not touch your body, touch your pubic bone. Inhale, rotate your trunk, and exhale, lower it to over the right leg, foot flexed. Again, if this is too challenging, you can place the blanket on that leg and bend over it. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale to the opposite leg. Keep both feet engaged because that's what keeps your leg muscles engaged and therefore protects your knees, especially the knee of the leg over which you are bending. Remember to keep no rounding in the spine and the lower back. And again, to facilitate the bend, you can always place the blanket between your trunk and your leg. Next, we'll come to center and exhale our trunk over the blanket or a bolster. Here we'll stay for a little bit longer, letting our hamstrings that must be screaming right now that it's okay. So eventually they will relax and surrender. Most important thing, again, keep your feet flexed, engage in your quads to keep your knees straight. Engaged quads send signal to your hamstrings to relax, and this is what we need in this forward fold. Just concentrate on your breathing and don't think about how difficult this pose may be. See if with each exhalation you can surrender a little bit more. Inhale, bring your trunk to the upright position and place the blanket to the side but within the reachable distance, and lay down on your back. Have your scarf, belt or strap handy. Hook your right foot and straighten your knee, bringing your foot over your hip. Make sure the opposite hip is on the ground, and draw your foot to your chest. If you can reach your toe without the strap, then you can lose the strap. Next, rotate externally your hip and lower your leg to the right. Again, you may or may not need a strap, but it's often a safer way to start with a strap. You can lose it at a later stage. Switch arms, and now lower this right leg to the left. That's gonna feel nice in the gluteus muscles of the right leg. Keep shoulders on the floor. Bring leg back to center, planted, and switch legs. Now we're hooking the left foot using a strap, or again you can connect directly to your big toe. It's a little bit easier for me on the left, so I'm gonna not use the strap. Next, externally rotate the hip and lower your left leg to the left, keeping the right hip on the ground. If you need, you can press your hip down with your right hand. Inhale, bring your leg back to center. Switch hands and lower your left leg to the right. Nice stretch on your abductor muscles and your glutes. I hope you enjoy it. Remember to keep your feet on both legs flexed to engage your leg muscles. Exhale, release, and come to a seated position. Place the soles of your feet together. Take your strap and place it on your sacrum in the back. Then lay it over your hips and around your ankles. Tie a knot. You can shorten or lengthen the allowance on your strap depending on how flexible your hips are. And you can lay down. If it's a little bit intense or too hard on your back, you can place that rolled blanket or the bolster along your spine. So this is a wonderful supported bound angle, reclined bound angle position, which will replace our Shavasana today. And stay here for at least 3 minutes. Enjoy the relaxed hip opening. The good part of it is that all your muscles are relaxed because you are bound by a strap, so you don't have to waste that energy on keeping your muscles engaged in any position. And at the same time, your hips are opening further. Untie your bound and come to a seated position, maybe on a block, in a Sukhasana, easy pose, and place your hands on your knees. Verify your straight spine, open chest. Inhale through your nose into the belly, and exhale, push the